Why you reach 80%, then suddenly collapse, loop of almost explained. Have you ever noticed this? You start something with fire, you push, you grind, you get momentum, and then, right around 70, 80, maybe 90%, everything collapses. Your energy dies, your focus disappears, your motivation fades, and suddenly you're back at zero, wondering what happened. It feels like sabotage, it feels like weakness, but it's not. It's a pattern, a psychological loop, a silent identity trap almost nobody talks about. And if you've lived your life getting close but never crossing the finish line, this is why. Because your biggest enemy isn't laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. It's not your circumstances. It's the loop of almost, a failure pattern hidden inside your identity. Let me explain why this happens and how you break it. You see, the first part of any goal is always the easiest. Starting is exciting, trying feels good, change feels fresh. Your brain loves momentum. You love watching progress. That's why you get to 80%. You've seen enough improvement to feel proud, but not enough transformation to feel pressured. And then, the moment when success becomes real, everything inside you panics. Because the final 20% isn't about effort. It's about identity. Finishing something, proving something, changing something, means you become a different person. A person with new expectations, new responsibilities, new standards. And your current identity? It doesn't want that. So your brain does exactly what it was designed to do. It protects you. You start feeling tired, distracted, unmotivated. Suddenly you want to scroll, rest, quit, start tomorrow. Not because you're failing, but because your mind is fighting the new version of you. This is the first loop, identity friction. You push forward, but your old identity pulls back, dragging you toward the version of you it understands. Think about it. You've tried to change before. Fitness goals, study routines, money habits, mindset shifts. You start strong, you improve, you feel proud, and then out of nowhere, collapse. That collapse isn't random. It's a defense mechanism. Your brain is protecting the identity it's familiar with, even if that identity is holding you back. Here's the second loop. Comfort addiction. You're not addicted to failure. You're addicted to familiarity. Finishing something is unfamiliar. Success is unfamiliar. Consistency is unfamiliar. But starting again, restarting, being almost there, that's familiar. And your brain loves familiar. So it gently pulls you back with old habits, old distractions, old excuses, old emotions. Not because they help you, but because they feel safe. The third loop is this, the collapse point. Every person has a moment where everything falls apart. A predictable point where the identity starts fighting back. For some people, it's day 3. For some, it's week 2. For others, it's the final step. You've lived this. You know your collapse point. You've seen this pattern repeat your entire life. But nobody ever told you it was predictable. And here's the painful truth. Your collapse point has nothing to do with ability. It's a psychological pattern that your identity repeats automatically. But here's the revelation, the thing that breaks the entire loop. You don't need to be stronger. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more discipline. You don't need to try harder. You need to become someone different. Because effort doesn't fix identity. Identity shapes effort. If you see yourself as someone who almost finishes, you will almost finish every time. If you see yourself as someone who gives up at 80%, your brain will protect that identity. If you see yourself as someone who starts strong but never ends well, your mind will make that pattern repeat. But the opposite is also true. When you start identifying as a finisher, as someone who completes, as someone who sees things through, the collapse point disappears. Because your identity no longer fights the ending. It expects it. It welcomes it. It becomes normal. So how do you shift identity? Don't try to finish big things. Finish small things every day. Complete tiny tasks. Close micro loops. Do the last 2 minutes, not the last 2 hours. Finish the small habit, not the entire transformation. Every time you finish, you cast a vote for the identity of a finisher. And once your identity accepts that you are someone who completes things, your brain stops collapsing at 80%. You stop falling apart when success is near. You stop restarting your life every few months. You stop living in the loop of almost. Because the pattern wasn't about effort. It was about identity. And the moment your identity changes, your patterns change. Your behavior changes. Your outcomes change. Your entire life changes. So ask yourself, what's one tiny thing you can finish today? Not start, not a plan, not talk about. Finish. Because finishing is how you break the loop. Finishing is how you build confidence. Finishing is how you upgrade your identity. And once you upgrade your identity, you stop collapsing at 80%. And you finally cross the finish line. If this hit you, tell me in the comments. Which part of the loop are you stuck in? The identity friction, the comfort addiction, or the collapse point? And if you want more videos that break your patterns and rebuild your identity from the inside out, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Your next breakthrough starts with the next identity you choose.